this is what we've been waiting on. WinWing Sim has finally sent the switch over to us for review for replacing the ARM auto throttle switch for the Boeing PAP3 Autopilot panel. And now we got the switch. Let's go ahead and go install this thing quickly and get this thing over with. I can't wait. I'm excited for it. All right, let's see what's in the box. I'm actually excited for this. I can't believe I'm actually excited for a switch, but this should be nice and easy. Let's go. There it is. Wow. All it is, wow, this switch is bigger than I thought it would be. It is actually much bigger than I thought it would be. And here is the switch. Interesting. It's an electronic switch. Of course, it's got the plug to plug it into the sim and to make it work. And we're gonna go put this here right in the spot where this is. And we're gonna go test it into the sim. The good thing about it, at the back of the panel, there are just a couple of screws that you have to replace and pop it out. And so let's go do that, put the switch in. Very interesting turn of events. So I just discovered that this is not a Phillips or a flat screw. It's actually an Allen key. And I happen to have a whole bag full of these things from just different tools and equipment I've had to put together in the past. So this did not come in the box from WinWing, so be prepared. I'll try to find out what size Allen key is this, but you're gonna need an Allen key of the right size to plug in here and undo the screws. Very simple to undo right there. I'll loosen that one up. Loosen this one up as well. There it is. Easy to break, but this does not come in the box from WinWing. This is my own Allen key. So that may be one roadblock you're gonna run into while getting this thing set up in your excitement because you just got it. So that is one thing just to be careful of, and it comes with a just a switch alone in the box itself. So here's the switch. Here's the one screw. Second one, it's a pretty long screw to put it in. And the top screw is shorter and the bottom screw is longer. So there's two different screws. Longer one goes on the bottom, shorter one goes on the top. Be very careful at that. And then it's plugged in here. So what we're gonna do is remove this switch right here. So now the switch is loose. There it is, you can remove it out of the slot right there. And then carefully unplug it from the socket. So here is your switch. And usually some of these have a little push tab. Usually some of these have a little push tab that you have to push to get it out. And there it is. Very, very easy to do. It's got two ports on it, a bigger one and a smaller one. This is what it looks like. That's the old one. So that is the default switch that comes with it. It's just a toggle switch. But this is the electronic switch that we're going to be putting in here and plug it in. So it's going to go in like that. Now I wonder if there's a top and a bottom to this. I'm not entirely sure. So it only goes one way. It's going to go in with the wiring facing the plug. So the wiring side faces the plug side. That's how it goes in. And there we are. It's going to be in. Let's go ahead and put these screws back in. Remember I said there's two screws. There's a long screw and a short screw, right? The long screw is going to go on the bottom here. Let's get that in right there. Let me start it by hand. Thread that in. As a matter of fact, I'm discovering right now, here's a trick. You don't have to, you can put the screws in before to catch them. Put the top screw, which is the short one, then a long one at the bottom. Once you put it in, it's got detents in here that you could just put it and line it in. Top and bottom, just like so. Don't screw this in too much. Just start the threading on these screws. There we go. All right, we got it. Took a little bit of time, but with the screws already started, just slide it in because it has detents. Now we can go ahead and tighten this bad boy up. There we go, you're in. Now we can go ahead and plug you in. So the small one is for the original switch, this one. If you notice, there's two different connectors. So the first hole here is for the basic switch. Then for the advanced switch is what I'm calling it, goes into the other one right here, the closer one. Let's go ahead and see if we can fish that in here. All right, so it might be easier to plug this in before you get the switch secured down, but I got it in. I'm going to make sure it's snapped in properly. Right there. There it is. You won't really hear a click when you push it in, but you will feel that it's seated in there properly. So there it is. It's in. Took a little bit of doing, but literally this can take you 3 minutes to do if you're not fudging with it or trying to use a camera on it. Switch is in. Let's go try it with the software downstairs and see how it comes out. It worked with PAP3 Pro right out of the box without any setup at all. Here is the auto throttle on PAP3 Pro right here. And we could go ahead and manually arm this thing, and it is armed if you press the disconnect button, changing the switch position in PAP3 Pro right here. Let's go ahead and arm it again manually. And then we just go ahead and press the Autopilot disconnect, auto throttle disconnect, and it disarms it. So PAP3 Pro worked right out of the box. There was no software required to make this thing work, and it just works, and that's impressive. So I'm going to go ahead and arm the auto throttle here. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect with this switch, and I'm going to go ahead and press it here, and it makes a nice big healthy snapping sound. So there's no way you cannot hear that auto throttle off sound. It is off, and it will tell you. You can arm it with your hand. Now I do know you could press this button to arm the arm light, and it will arm in the sim, but it won't arm physically here. So it will arm in the sim if you use the button, and you could disarm it in the sim and rearm it. But to arm the auto throttle, you want to do it manually. That sets it into position, and then you do the auto throttle off by pressing here, and there it is. And it arms and disarms itself. We're in the Zebo right now. We're going to go ahead and try with the PMDG, but that's pretty cool. Here we are in the PMDG. Make sure everything else works. PAP3 Pro has been running. That looks like it's working. Let's go ahead and arm the auto throttle. There it is, auto throttle armed. And there it is, disconnected. One try. Didn't take too long for me to do that. I literally just armed it. I literally started the sim, and you can hear the disconnect. It makes that nice little slapping sound. I don't know if you guys heard that in the background. But the auto throttle disconnect works with the Zebo and the PMDG right out of the box. Man, shout out to WinWing for just making it so easy for these things to work. Let's go ahead and arm it one more time. And that is armed and disarmed. Very good, very good. Can you arm it from here? No, in Microsoft you can't arm it from the throttle. Only in X-Men you can do that, but this is only a disarm. But switch is nice, and when you disconnect, get that nice snap. Arm it there. It's armed in the sim, and disconnect. That's it. I've never pressed a switch this much in my life, but it does work. It's pretty good. Shout out to WinWing. The switch works perfectly with the sim and in the sim with the two Boeing 737. I haven't tested it with the 777 or any other airplane. I figure you might need a Toby mod for that, but everything just works plainly just like that. Here is our disconnect right here, and let's go. Perfect. All right, guys, see you in another video. Take care. Thanks a lot. Have a great one. See you.